I've been struggling, obviously, with dating in the beginning. I don't know how familiar you guys are with my background, but I grew up in Austria. I was very analytical. I was a child who was completely fine, you know, playing by himself and, you know, playing Magic the Gathering and trading Pokemon cards and just sitting in the room playing Lego. Was very analytical, loved systems and programming. So I went to a high school that was very focused on technical stuff. Like I did like circuit boards, I did programming, I did electrical engineering, stuff like that. And 90% of the guys in my class were male. And I spent basically the whole year in a boarding school with only dudes. And then the summer often came. And obviously in the summer you're not in school. And I lived close to a lake, which was beautiful. But there was this clear separation of the cool kids, first of all, who connected the whole year with each other in like secondary, and me and my friends. And I was clearly not part of the cool kids. Obviously the cool kids had the girls, I didn't have girls. So the whole summer I was reminded of, I'm just not it. I just don't have it. I'm not part of that. And I had no way of really entering it. I had no idea. It was like, I remember there was one guy, his dad owned like this boat company. So he had boats, right? And he could take out his friends on boats on the lake. And I was like, well, I don't have that, so therefore I'm useless. There was another friend, his dad was in real estate, so he owned a beautiful place where they did parties because there was a sunset spot. And I didn't have that. So I was always like, okay, I'm not cool, I'm not rich, and there's no way for me to get into that. And that was depressing, you know, so far so good. Then my first kind of social media experience was not Instagram, was not Tinder, it was actually Chatroulette. Oh. Who knows Chatroulette? You guys don't know Chatroulette?
Yeah, I've heard about it.
Yeah? Okay. Well, you didn't. Who has used it? One. Okay. Two. Thank you. So quickly, Chatroulette was this amazing website. I think some Russian dude programmed it when he was like 18. And it was very simple. You go on chatroulette.com, you see a screen, you allow your webcam, so you show yourself, and then you get connected to a stranger. And then you have one button, which is next. And as soon as one person would press the next button, you get reshuffled. So it was kind of like this Mexican standoff where you hold a gun at each other and you have to be cool or something, or just like each other, and you keep talking. And it was obviously a chat as well. But I think, yeah, you could also talk. So either you talk with your voice or you were chatting if you're shy. And that way I actually met some girls. Because then you exchange like Skype or ICQ back then. And believe it or not, but there was one American girl who I chatted with for a year when I was 18, and that really helped my English because I sucked at English, but I was talking to her every day. And then she was an au pair in Austria, and she came to Salzburg. No, she was an au pair in Italy, and her family came to Salzburg, and I met her in real life, and we had sex. So I got a girl out of Chatroulette, and that was great until we met the second time, where we were driving in Munich, and you know, I was 18, she was 23, and she was in Milan. So her family was in Milan. She was beautiful, still, like she was, you know, beautiful girl. Not a model, but like a cute, beautiful girl with a good body. And we did like, you know, sexting and video sex all the time. And I was really into her, and we met. It was the second girl I ever had sex with at that time. So I was really excited to seeing her again. And I booked a hotel in Munich. So by then I was like 19. And I borrowed my mom's car and we drove, and then she was telling me about her life in Milan. She brought up this guy and she said, yeah, I had a date with this guy and he took me to this bar, and there was this bar in Milan, and I remember that one thing she said, and the cocktails were 20 euros each. And I was like, like it hurt me because it was almost this childhood trauma of these guys who are like, you know, had the boats and the houses. And I was like, 20 euros? Like, my parents give me 80 euros a month. And the dude just spends that in 1, 2, 4 cocktails? So I was I wanted to do like this and end it. Like, it really got me angry. And again, I was back then when I was in this technical school, and it was so hard for me to even understand what can I do to get to that level, right? And then the only answer would have been, well, get rich, because it seems like if you have money, you get the girls. Made me realize eventually, simple Greek philosophy advice, there's things you can change and there's things you cannot change. And then you should focus on the things you can change, right? Obviously, we all have genetics. Okay, so we're limited in height, certain looks. We are limited to an extent in how much money we can make, but I think all of us have a lot of opportunity being born in the first world, one of the richest countries in the world. The things I changed for myself eventually, not immediately, it took me a while. One is location, right? Obviously I wasn't getting what I wanted in Austria. I wasn't that much into the girls, didn't vibe, so I moved to James to Budapest. I did change my social media, which I'm gonna talk about more. I did change my style, because I had no fucking idea how to dress. And at the beginning it wasn't even that important, to be honest. And I changed, which was the major thing, my level of social freedom, right? I was paralyzed when I thought about approaching a girl. I was completely unable to make connections on the street. Who has seen this pyramid before in one of my videos? Yes, 1, 2, cool. So, real quick, if you want to have success with ladies, the first thing you need to focus on, laser, doesn't work, is inner game, right? Because let's say you are rich, and you have a boat, and you have a Lambo, and you have a villa, and you see a girl, and you can't approach her because you're too shy. What's the fucking point, right? Or you have an amazing social circle. You're a DJ, you're performing, and you even take the girl home, but then you're still not really good at sexual escalation, right? You're maybe really shy. Maybe you have some sexual trauma or you're unsure about your body or something. So inner game is like the base for everything and what you guys should work on always, all the time, no matter at what level you are in your seduction journey, right? It's always going to stay important, even for me. Then once you have somewhat confidence, do cold approach, because even just these 20 seconds I picked you up on the street, there was like 3, 4 approachable girls. Like I just opened the door and there was girls in front of my door that could be in my life now if I would approach them. And you missed out on them. Why? Right? They could be in your Instagram now. They could be checking your stories. So cold approach is still an incredible hack. I just spent a week in London in probably one of the most expensive blocks in the world. And I was hosted by this multimillionaire friend of mine who is thinking like, okay, if I just gain like 8 more kilos of muscle and then I get my business to this, then I can sell it to Google for this many millions, and then I get this car, and then like he's really thinking about this. Then I can like get this apartment, and then da-da-da, and I can, then I will go into Soho House, you know, Soho House, like this membership club, it's like 10K a year, and then I can do this, and I'm like, bro, there's a girl at the corner, like, just say hi. And he's like, okay. And he got her Instagram and he's going on a date with her tomorrow. It's like he's thinking about all this shit of years and years of progress, right? Of course, as some of you guys mentioned, some of you guys are already doing this. Cool, I love that. You want to build a social circle, and the way you build a social circle is through social media, which is like the new world of dating, using social media to your advantage. And that's what I want to talk about, because I was very frustrated. I wanted to get hotter girls after I got good at cold approach, which is another story, which I'm skipping now. And then I focused on social media. So, cool if we focus on that. Who has an Instagram profile here? Everyone, okay. Who has at least 20 photos? Cool. Who would give themselves on their profile at least like a 7 out of 10? In terms of when a girl looks at it, she's like, yeah, it's a cool guy. 1, okay. Who is posting at least 3 stories a week? 1, 2, okay. Then shout out quickly, what's currently holding you back? And every answer is right, there's no wrong answers, from like putting more focus on that.
It feels a bit unnatural as a guy.
Unnatural as a guy? Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, like what the peers think about it.
What your friends think, if you post a lot. Okay.
Yeah, like for example, like where you're posting.
Okay.
Logistics as well.
Mm-hmm. I mean, maybe you just don't care about it, it's fine, you know.
It's hard to get good photos of yourself when you're taking yourself.
Okay. Do you realize it's important, or maybe some of you guys are like, I don't understand what's even the point of it, which is fine. It's a good answer.
Maybe like too high standards.
Too high standards, like comparing yourself with others? Okay, cool. What about you guys?
I think he summed it up pretty well.
Okay. Perfect.
I heard you can make a trait with your friends. So I have 3 guys where we have where we say I pay 50 kroner if you get a good photo.
Oh, you pay them if they get a good photo of you?
Yeah.
Oh wow, nice. We can go out tomorrow. I can make some money. I can take some good photos. Yeah, but it didn't work?
It did work on Roskilde. I got like 3 good photos, but I didn't post them.
Right. I like that idea though. Yeah, incentivization is important.
And then he got 3 good photos for me, so then the change is equal.
Right, so you just both bought each other beers and...
Pretty much.
Yeah, that's good. I like that. That's how it goes. So, I like what you said, like intimidation, you know, like high standards is true. So, you don't need millions of followers, you don't need the travel, you know, luxury fucking surfing, Maldives pics, and you also don't need a lot of likes. So let's go through them. What you do need though, you have to look presentable. We'll look into that more. You have to play on an archetype, obviously one that's attractive. You have to post regular stories. I'm gonna go through each of those in detail. And you need some brand. Let's go through the doubts. Some of what you guys said is in there. So do I need a lot of followers, right? Who knows Jay Alvarez, by the way, quickly? This guy's not cool, doesn't matter. Handsome Hawaii boy with a lot of followers. Do you need a lot of followers? Let's go back. No, not at all, right? If you're a company, like the purpose of followers is to sell something. If you have a bigger audience, more people will see it, and then therefore if you pitch something, percentage-wise, more people will buy it. But you're not selling anything. The most important part about social media is, if you remember that pyramid, it's on top of what? What was right under social media? Cold approach. So, very important, the girls you meet on the street are the ones you're gonna talk to on Instagram and nobody else. It's not your goal to meet any strangers on Instagram or cold DM girls or show up on the Explore feed or be reposted by some famous rapper. That's not the point, right? Or be discovered or shout out. Your goal as a man is still to connect with strangers in the real world. But then, like he said, texting, it's to stay in touch with girls. And texting is a bit of a myth. People think, oh, if I'm good at texting, I can get a girl into the date. But she doesn't care about texting. She cares about investment and how she sees you as a man. And you can do a lot of that work on the street if you make a good impression. And that's how it's been forever, right? Like day game 10 years ago before Instagram was talk to girls on the street, make a good impression, lock in a date, meet her for a date, take her home, have sex, make children. Now there's this element in between, which is Instagram, which, you know, hate it or love it, is a reality, and girls spend time on it, and girls check the dude out, and if you're not on there, there's a huge barrier. Like you maybe experience, you meet girls, and then they don't text you back, because they don't really know who you are. They're not investing in you enough. So, followers doesn't matter, because the only followers you have are the ones you talk to on the street. Do you need travel pics? No. That's again, he's basically selling something, right? He's a model, he's representing a lifestyle, he wants to get paid by hotels. Looks cool, but you don't need it. Right? I was telling the stories about the guy with the boat, the guy with the house, here we got 2 Rolls Royce, and I now live in this world. So actually, for whatever reason, I manifested being with the guys in the boats, and I am in the villas, right? I do spend time. I was just, 2 weeks ago, I was in a $25 million villa in Ibiza, and I was hosting an event there. In a month, I'm in a villa in Turkey, then I'm in a villa in Mykonos, and they're all like $5 to $10 million villas, and we're gonna rent boats, and I'm in this world, and I'm meeting the people who live this lifestyle constantly, and what I found out is that they have the same problems as us. They're still like, oh, there's this one girl and she doesn't text back, and you know, like, how can I respond to her, and oh, what should I buy her? And they're in the money mindset, right? So they're like, but I sent her this gift and I bought her that bag, and she's now still dating this other guy. And it's even more frustrating because these dudes spent like 20 years becoming rich and they were really good at it, with the promise of, then it will be fine. That's this amazing like long-term vision of like, you know, like this guy I was with in London who was like, if I just gain 10 kilos of muscle, then. And they did that for years and years and years and they're still not happy because their game sucks. And by game, I mean their charisma, how they handle themselves, how they mainly handle rejection, right? Likes don't matter at all. It's fake anyway, and by now everybody knows you can buy 1 million likes for $7 or whatever, and you know, people know, so it lost its value. Now, more to the personal side, not to the shiny side. Some of you guys might think, I don't look good in photos, I'm not photogenic, I don't have good photos of myself. The problem is, like you said, you just don't have good photographers in your life. You just don't have anyone who tells you, put this on, sit here, turn around, and then shoots 100 photos with the right camera and then sends it to you. And then also pushes you to post it, right? Like me, Liam, we could get good photos out of you in 20 minutes, I swear, 100%, like very good stuff. Because why we know this? Because we do it every week with all the students that we coach. They come in and they don't even have to be dressed that well, or I just put my jacket on him or whatever, and we just know what to do to make you look presentable, right? Most guys don't take that step, they just give up, and for them this having a good photo of themselves is this, just like this other world that only models and actors are in. But it's like, no, you are a model. Like every one of you is a model of your own life and show. You're just not allowing yourself to think like that. You think it's all about the face or having, you know, a photo like that. I wasn't even aware somebody's taking that photo of me, but it's a great photo, right? Beautiful composition and so on. So again, you just don't have a person who's just capturing your life a bit. And then that goes a little bit into social circle. The best photos of myself are the ones that friends took of me when I was not aware. And then the best photos of my friends are the ones I took of them when they were not aware. And like you said, it's this beautiful exchange. And you have to take initiative and become the director of your life to get that stuff. Because it's important, and it's very important, and I'm going to talk about this more. Who maybe deleted Instagram sometimes because it got just too addictive? You guys have a problem with that? I definitely have, all the time. Every day? Yeah. How much? What's your screen time? Did you check like per week on Instagram?
I try to get it down.
I delete it during the day, and then at night I install.
Okay, yeah. Delete during the day, install at the night. I do that too, but without deleting. I do it with, it is true, it is addictive. I'm not gonna say no. I experimented with the limits, didn't work. You know, you just put the passcode in, like, I'm too monkey brain. The second phone solution worked really well for me. So I kind of like, I have my fun phone and I leave it locked somewhere. And then I have my day with my productive phone. And then when I come home, I'm like, okay, now I can take the dirty pleasure phone and then do the fun Instagram stuff, right? That worked for me. Like some people fall more into it than others. Just know yourself. Or delete it and only use it from the browser. That often has like another side to it, and kind of block yourself from watching reels, because if you think about it, that's the real thing. It's not that you're so stuck in conversations or posting photos or, you know, engaging with friends. The problem is the doom scrolling, right? That's where we get hooked. Or hire someone to post for you, which I've done with periods of time as well, that I don't even have the password, but I send them the photos I want to post and they post it for me. Why not? Social media is cringe. I mean, what you guys said, which is true. Life is cringe. And I talked about this in my video, Cold Approach is Cringe. Like, do you think the guys who are now looking confident, or who are good public speakers, or who are good musicians, or who are great actors, yada yada, never felt cringe in their life? I mean, it's obvious when you put it like that, right? It's like everybody who's successful in anything went through a phase of this feels off, including Cold Approach, and they just did it anyway. They didn't stop. They continued. They dealt with it. That's literally just the separation of successful people and unsuccessful people. Like, we all have the same emotions. Humans are humans. Nobody's just ice cold fucking going for it. I mean, some sociopaths are, but we're hopefully not crazy psychopaths, right? So, you're empathetic, you feel emotions, cool, but that's fine. And if you think about it, I know it because I am being criticized from many sides, right? I'm a dating coach and I have this crazy party lifestyle. I want to make more money and I travel and I date different girls. The criticism always comes from people who don't have what I have. I've never, a single time in my life, been criticized by somebody who is above me. Who dates better women, who has a better setup, who makes more money, who ain't no single. They always praise me. They're always like, oh, this guy is hustling, cool, hey, I'm proud of you, hey, you well done, oh, that's great, right? Like I've had guys who make $1 million a month ask me like how much you make, and they're like, oh, that's great for you, you know, keep up. And then there's dudes who make like 1/10 of what I made, they're like, you know, he's just trying to do da-da-da. So it's always the people below you. And then do you want to even have these people in your life? Yes, no?
Better than having no one.
No, maybe better to have no one sometimes. Because then you can make it a point to find the people who pull you up, right? Like maybe sometimes you have to go through a time of loneliness because you pushed other people away. Not in a bad way, but just like decided to positively isolate yourself a little bit. Or you can call it monk mode, or you can call it focus time, or reinventing yourself to manifest the good things in your life. Social media feeds insecurities. Yes, if the algorithm shows you that stuff. So I don't want to go too much into that, but you can train the algorithm. You can tell it, don't show me this, or this makes me uncomfortable. Like there's these 3 dots on Reels sometimes, and you can train the algorithm to show you good stuff. Fake and shallow, you don't have to participate, right? You don't have to follow luxury pages. You can follow hiking pages, yoga pages, martial arts stuff. So it's really like a reflection of what's in your brain currently that is being shown to you, right? If you go on my Explore feed now, it's gonna be like traveling, cinematography, some gear, probably some Rolex stuff, maybe some cars, but no like sexy bitches, no super luxury stuff. Like I'm training it and I'm pressing aggressively, like don't show me this, don't show me this, don't show me this on my Instagram. I'm worried about my data is a common one. Sure, yes, Mark Zuckerberg wants all our data, but who doesn't, right? Data is valuable. The government wants our data, dating apps want our data, everybody wants our data. My take is they already have it anyway. They're gonna get it anyway. If you truly want to live off-grid, at this point you have to just go to a completely remote island, right? And you can always use fake names on social media. You don't have to connect it with your ID. You don't have to use your surname. You don't have to dox yourself with any address stuff. Yeah. You know, okay. Like if you want to live in the real world, there's data collection companies and it's still a good deal. Often I hear, well, the girls on Instagram, I don't want to date them anyway. They're not good girls. Lies, they're all on there. I mean, those just 2 girls I talked to today on the street. And the reason I post them, please don't copy the name, they're not big. Like they're beautiful, gorgeous girls. I would have thought they're like high followers and they have like 1.5 and 2.3 thousand followers, and they're like cute, sweet girls, right? Like marriable with a job. In London, dudes approach girls, look great, totally like, you know, dateable, 800 followers. Like they're all on social media, and they're not trying to get famous there. They have their profile private, like these girls had, but they're on there, right? So don't say only bad, slutty girls who only care about their looks and use filters and have like only bikini photos on Instagram, and the good girls, they don't use it at all. It's bullshit. They're all using it to stay in touch with friends. Not to gain followers, but to stay in touch with friends. And it's your job to become their friend. Okay, good so far. You guys with me? The positive, and this is very important, is Instagram is a sea full of opportunity if you create and not consume. That's one thing. Instagram, I call it an energy multiplication device. So the energy you put out is the energy you get back. If you put out negative energy and fucking war and disasters, people who think about that will resonate with it. If you put out love, you will get love back. If you put out sport content, people who are really into sport will resonate with it. If you put out creative stuff, romantic stuff, that's what will come back. And the beautiful thing is you can make one post and it can be seen by endless amounts of people. And not using that would be a waste of your time and energy. Also, it's just a free promotion platform. You currently don't have to pay for it. Like, you pay with your data, sure, you pay with your attention, you pay with getting ads shown and buying stuff. Of course, that's how it works, we all know that. But if you follow the other rules, it's not. And it's just the modern farmer's market. Like, you just have to accept that in the 70s and the 50s or whatever, people met at the dance and they met at the farmer's market and they met at the church. And it's just not there anymore, right? Sure, there's a little bit of a, I don't know, renaissance in going to church and going to farmers markets, but the reality is, compared to like attention and how many hours people put in it, this is where it's happening. This is where people communicate. And if you're not on board with that, you're just missing out. It's just how it is. It's like saying, it's like having a company and saying, I don't want a website and I don't want to run ads and I don't want to hand out flyers. I'll just have my shop at the corner, and then whoever walks past and checks out my products, my handbags and shoes, and they buy it on the spot, that's how I make money. But if they don't buy there, they will never hear from me again. And then you have this competitor on the other side of the street who has a website and he has like retargeting ads and he hires somebody handing out flyers and he's running a radio fucking broadcast. Like, who's gonna make more money, right? In the business context. And here it's like, well, who's gonna have a better social life? Who is gonna be in touch with more people? Who is gonna connect with people? Has more ladies to invite to an event? Can connect to other people, right? Like, I'm connecting people all the time. People meet because of me in Bali, people meet because of me in London and New York without me even being there, but I'm still getting the social currency out of it, because at some point, whatever happens, they're like, how did you meet? Oh yeah, Alex connected us. Like, I have like on my phone like 12 chats open of another guy doing this with me. I spent a week with him in Argentina, he asked me a lot of questions, and then he connected me with like 8 people in group chats. Why does he do it? We'll see. Something will come out of it for him. Now, let's talk about why girls care about looking presentable. Basically, A's like, okay, it's obvious why we should dress well, right? I mean, if you see a guy in a suit, you don't have to wear a suit, but consider to dress well, versus a guy in sweatpants, the guy in suit, usually more attractive. People knew this for hundreds of years. Clothing are a thing for a long time. People who are dressed well show certain type of status. Now we live in a world where dressing well can also mean certain street style or ninja style or cute adventure style, right? It doesn't have to be a suit and you look like a king. Your social media profile is the equivalent of your fashion on the street. So if I walk down the street in a suit, I'm talking to the world and saying, I'm a businessman. I care about money, I care about status. If I walk down the street in sport clothes, I say, I'm active, I value health. If I walk down the street in leather jacket and like skinny jeans and cool boots, I'm signaling to the world, I like adventure. Maybe I'll have a motorcycle, right? And then I signal that to, again, get the energy back. So the girl who really likes adventure dudes will maybe look at me or will have a better vibe with me. The same thing goes for social media. You basically present yourself, you're telling, or if you don't dress yourself well, you're basically saying, if we can't figure out how to dress, how will he figure out my pussy? Okay, it's a bit of a stretch. A good Instagram is the same thing as wearing a suit 50 years ago. Does that make sense? Right, you have to put effort on it because you're putting that energy out, and you're not putting it out only on the street where like a few people see you. You're putting it out to everyone. Not in a stressful way, but it's like it's an opportunity. You have this great opportunity to use servers and the internet to show yourself. You know, like I don't want to discourage you guys too much with like, oh, you need the social media. Like, keep in mind the pyramid is still in a game cold approach. Like, this was me in 2015, and also, who said they have no time? You guys. I had 0 time. I was literally working 80 hours a week. Like, the schedule was get up at like 9, do some editing or check the YouTube stuff from the day before, go to the workshop location at like 11, film till 8, eat till 9, edit till 12 or 1 in the morning, and do that 7 days in a row and then leave, right? So here was literally like a 15-minute break where guys were just doing approaches and we just had some snack, and it was a girl right next to this, and I talked to her. She was from Mexico. It's a crazy story. She was from Mexico, but she was Mexican heritage in the US. And she was flown to Barcelona by a rich doctor in first class, because I saw in her bag a first class ticket from like British Airways, and I was like, that's weird. And she's like, yeah, there's this guy, I don't know, he flew me here, he's like sugar daddy. And then we met for a date, and we went to the beach, and we made out on the beach, and we had the drinks, and then she fucking decided to move in with me on the first date for that week, or for like 10 days that we spent in Barcelona. And I'll never forget, we walked up to this apartment building, this nice hotel, and then she opened the door, and she was like saying something to this guy, and I saw him, and he looked at me, he's like, who the fuck is that fucker? And then she was like 7 minutes, I was standing there like this, and then she came out with her suitcase, and then she moved into this shitty room with me. And then we banged every day and did like anal, and she squirted, and it was fucking sexy. Yeah, it was probably because of this hat, yeah. So it's possible, right? And but that was in 2015. Now, you want to have a certain archetype. So as you can see here, what's the archetype?
Hipster, traveler.
Comfy.
Comfy, yeah. Not knowing what I'm doing, basically, right? Not giving a fuck. It's like fucking some shirt with a drawing on it, like like swim shorts, ugly nerd hat. It's an archetype, but the archetype is loser nerd, not knowing what he does. That's the archetype. I got away with it, right? So you want to have an archetype. Rocker, attracted to some girls. Geek chick, you know, being a geek is not bad. It's just like if it looks like you still have the clothes that your mom bought you, then it's bad. But you can show, hey, I'm smart, I'm a bit nerdy, I program, I write code, you know, I create things. Because you can phrase things differently. You can say, yeah, I'm a programmer, and I work in an office, and I'm just a software developer. Or you can say, yeah, I'm working on projects with software development, I'm creating this thing, and I love when I you know, have something in my mind, and then I put it down through software, and then I see how people interact with it. The users are gaining, and I get feedback, and I fix the stuff and make it better, and my vision becomes reality, and I help people in the real world solving real problems through software, right? It's the exact same thing, but just the second one is like, ooh, this guy's a hero. He's like changing the world, you know? Business, right? Obviously businessy. And then you can always think, what are the type of women you want to attract? You know, obviously a hippie girl or a yoga girl, maybe not so attracted to him. So it depends what you want to attract. You have to think, okay, what do you have to put out? And not just clothing. When we talk about archetype, is like, what is your archetype in terms of who is she gonna date? How do you present yourself? What is she imagining how it will be dating you? Will it be boring? Will it be one-sided? Will it be just like lame? Or will it be adventurous? Or will it be, will it help her career maybe? Will it be very chill and spiritual and balanced and we understand each other? Will it be maybe stressful and hard, but you know what I mean? So the way you present yourself as a leader or a ladies' man or a dude will tell the women that check your profile how it will be dating you. And that's very important. You want to actually design that message really well. Now for me, for the last years, if you look at my like real profile, Alex of the Ocean, I show it will be adventurous, funny, there will be other girls, it will be sexual, but it will not be monogamous, it will not be, you know, it will be a little bit toxic, you know, you won't lock me down, and that's by design, and I will change that over time. Then the basics, feed, bio, profile pic. What do you guys notice on this profile, which is more a better template? Just call out what you notice. Camera, yeah. So what's the archetype there maybe? If you notice. Artistic.
Shredded camera guy.
Mm-hmm. What else?
Social guy.
Social, okay.
Raw in a way. The fashion.
Uh-huh, right, like
Shape.
simple colors, yeah, black,
Yeah.
white, yeah, nature.
Carefree.
Cool. So, do you feel like based on these 9 photos here, you have a little bit of an idea who that guy is, right? Like what does he do on a weekend, for example?
Take pictures.
Yeah, take pictures.
Hang with guys. out in nature.
Okay, yeah, some dudes. What does he, what is his job? How does he make money when he's not on the beach?
Well, you would imagine some sort of creative content.
Maybe.
And photography.
What does he, where does he party? What does he do on a Saturday night?
Outdoors.
What?
Outdoors.
Outdoors, okay. Like beach club, beach bar.
Rooftop bar.
Right. So not so techno club.
Boot, probably.
Right. So, and then the beautiful thing about this, could this guy theoretically be a software developer?
Yeah.
No. Why not?
Probably.
I'm asking.
He does
Just look like my friends.
Right. But I mean, could he work 40 hours a week with code
Absolutely.
and then still have that life?
Yes, of course.
Absolutely, right? Like, where's the rule written that if you make money with code, you're not allowed to also own a camera and be on the beach with your friends? So that's an archetype that I put out on purpose that is obviously attractive, adventure, creativity, right? Maybe the girl thinks, oh, he can take photos of me. Oh, I can be his muse. Oh, he can invite me to this cool beach party. Oh, his cool other friends, they also have tattoos. I'm sure they're also creative, da. So it's engineered. And what this guy's real job is almost doesn't matter in a way, because that's the energy he puts out and what is he gonna get back. And obviously it's an attractive story for the type of girls this guy wants to date, which is girls who are beautiful, who value traveling, right? And then maybe this guy doesn't want to get married right now, and he thinks, okay, eventually I want a girl who doesn't want to travel all the time, who doesn't care about her own photos that much, and I'm looking more for a motherly kind of girl. And then he can shift the story, and he can shift the energy he puts out. Maybe he will dress more elegantly. Maybe he will show himself, you know, with a car he bought, or suddenly it's more about architecture. It's more about, maybe he gets a puppy and puts that out, or you know what I mean? Like different energy will then attract different women. So that's the feed, whoops. And then bio, profile pic. I mean, that's a bit, you know, Chad, like wannabe. Bio, and in general, anything with text, keep it super simple. Captions, bio, you know, it's just 3 emojis, easy. Now, colors, you know, that's where it goes into detail. It's nice to have a bit of a theme. Don't need to overthink it though. Textures, that's like add-on, you know, if you want to take it to the next level. You can see here, water, sky, grass. It's like a recurring theme in all of these feeds. And that just stands out. It just shows you put some energy in. It's like you would put, you know, if I wear, I don't know, the sweater or these shoes, or like you put an outfit together, you also check, does the colors match, you know? Is it an earthy thing? Do the shoes thing? Are the shoes clean? Da. It's the same here, like we said. Your fashion in 1900 is your Instagram profile in 2021, 2024. Give it space. Recommended. One crazy simple rule would just be have a close-up and have a wide shot. Have a close-up, have a wide shot. So if we really just check it, it's like that's close-up, that's kind of wide. That's wide, that's closer, that's wide, that's closer, that's wide, that's closer, that's closer, bit wider, closer. So I'm kind of following that rule here, and it gives it a nice aesthetic. Now, there are certain elements that have to be on the feed, and one of them is you. The biggest mistake I've seen on all profiles from all the clients I coach, they have a profile, they have over 20 photos, so I'm like, cool, they post stories, and I check, and it's like, where are you? It's like fucking 4 churches, 7 mountains, 2 sunsets, and I don't know, 1 butterfly. And they're like, yeah, well, here I was in Croatia and it was a beautiful sunset, and here I was in Germany and they have this nice chapel, and then I was in France and they had this great like food and restaurant, and I'm like, cool, good for you, that's a story maybe, but where are you? Like, what if I just met you on the street and I want to think, what's this guy about, like we just discussed, and then all I see is landscapes and architecture. And then it's obviously not the best landscape photos I've ever seen, so he's not a landscape photographer, which would be an archetype. It's just a memory for him that means nothing to anybody else. A beautiful sunset for me, when I've been there and experienced it, and I was with my friends and there was cool music, means something, but posting it on a tiny screen for a person I just met 3 minutes ago means absolutely nothing. So please archive all of that. Show your face. It's about you, right? Your feed is about you. Selfies, group shots, action shots, candid shots, you have to be in them. And like I said, it can be your back, it can be your silhouette, it doesn't have to be you all the time, but in some form. Then quick tips. Black and white often makes ugly photos beautiful because it takes, like, sometimes colors don't match or it's distracting. And by putting it black and white, you kind of put the focus on the face. And Dazcam is an app, you can write it down or take a photo, that just turns normal photos into analog looking photos, right? There's a big trend in analog photography. It looks raw, it looks real, it looks in the moment, it's lively, it's vibes, it's friends, and that app makes it the best. Obviously there's filters and you can learn Photoshop and this just does it in 1 second and it does it really well and girls just love it. And you can also put video mode and it looks like you used a VHS, but you can just use your iPhone and it's great. Then let's talk about stories. The beautiful thing about stories is obviously the math of it. You know, like I told you guys, I wasn't cool, I was a nerd, I was in technical school, I didn't grow up with the cool kids. So all of this is like, I figured it out over time. And the beautiful thing, to put it in numbers, is you post one story and all these ladies who you met on the street are checking you out. And they give you their time and you're communicating with them. You're having a conversation with them. So imagine 3 months, you just post 15 seconds a day, like a story, or here and there, a little bit more, here a little bit less. But you do it for 3 months, that's 90 days. That's 22 minutes of her watching you. Wait, that's like one girl, right? That's just one girl. So that's one girl. What if 100 girls watch you, right? And again, like if you do cold approach, you can easily meet on average 3 girls a day. And let's say one of them follows you. So in these 3 months, you're gonna add 100 girls to your Instagram. And they're gonna watch. And you're gonna have conversations with hot ladies, yes, online, on a mass basis. It's incredible. Like it's a crazy opportunity that you guys are missing. Another tip, have your theme. So I remember RSD Max, he always had like fitness, eating this steak, traveling, and I don't know, 2 more, hang out with friends and maybe feeling the feet on the grass or whatever, right? So it doesn't have to be here on my yacht. It just can be, I enjoy coffee in the morning, or when I see cool flowers, I do them, or cute puppies, or romance, old couples, or beautiful sunsets, or airlines taking off, or fucking cool dresses in the window, or my hairstyle always being weird, or me coding in the office. Like a recurring theme where it's like, ah, that's you, right? We know brands and they do that as well. Think about a brand and they have certain themes that they repeat, that we associate with that, like it sticks. You are basically a brand. You are running a marketing campaign. So it can be travel, grinding, that's RSD Max, grinding, gym, authority, social. Make up your own. So can be you in the gym, a cute animal, you being social, a beautiful landscape, and some meme. Liam always talked about sunsets. You can talk, memes, you guys know. Then, please, when you speak, keep it short. In general, keep it short. Like yesterday, I took a video of a plane taking off while I was in a plane. It looked cool. The original video was 40 seconds because I was waiting for that moment. Then I chopped it down to 7 seconds. And then I was like, the plane comes in a bit late and I'm worried that people skip next. So I shoved off another like 1.1 seconds at the beginning. So the plane comes in right away, as an example, right? You have to respect your viewer's time because we live in a world, where everybody's distracted, yada, yada, but really, we still have the same 24 hours in a day, if you think about it. The standards just shifted. We just don't put up with boring content anymore. So sure, if you go to the cinema in, I don't know how old cinema is, but let's just say, if you go to the cinema in 1950, you're gonna sit there, watch a movie for 2 hours, because it's amazing. It's like somebody made a movie and you get to see it. That's incredible. And if the editing is a bit slow and there's long dialogues and it's kind of boring, you don't notice because it's still a fucking movie in 1950 and you can't just go home and watch TV. Well, sure, now you have to just keep up with the level of editing and focus that is happening. And yes, I know there's a shift happening and creators are slowing down and they are, I don't know, drawing out titles more, but it's still playing with attention in a way that captures us. So if it's boring, it's just boring and you're just not there. And it's not that hard, just make it shorter and respect your viewer's time. Is that some stuff you can implement? Quickly say, what of this, just one thing that I just showed, you're going to implement this week?
Regular posting?
Regular posting?
Not being afraid to post oneself instead of like environment stuff.
Uh-huh, okay, so you're guilty of posting a lot of, not you.
Yeah.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, go for the camera. Fill out some photos. Make a schedule. Remember my friend said don't post too much in the same span of the week.
Don't approach too, what is it?
Don't post too much.
Ah, don't post too much.
Yeah.
They say that.
They say like you should wait like 2 or 3 days.
To post another story?
To post another photo that is like permanent.
Yeah, okay. I mean, to be honest, I sometimes don't post for 2 or 3 months. But it's a good point. So once you have a feed of like 20 to 30 photos, that's it. Like you don't have to post again because that's like your website, right? If you have a business and you hire an agency or a designer to make a website, you wouldn't tell him every week, hey, can you change this section? And now can you change this section? And can you change this section? I mean, okay, if you're Apple, maybe, but you know, a small business, you just have a website and it stays like that for a year. So you should basically get a kick-ass feed and then you don't have to post on the feed anymore at all. Then it's about stories.
Should you make the feed in one day or should you?
It doesn't matter. If you have 30 great photos that fit, post it all at once. No girl is checking, oh, he posted that 9 days ago and this one 9 days ago, therefore, blah, blah, like, it doesn't matter. Nobody cares. Like a lot of girls lose their account sometimes because it's too sexy or whatever, and they just take their hot photos, make a new profile, post them all at once, and then go from there. So nobody cares, right? Like a lot of these things also in day game, like she's on the phone or she's on a bike, but she maybe just saw me. It's like, it's all in your head and actually doesn't matter in your real life results. Okay, anything else you're gonna put into action?
Yeah, I think focusing on this like storytelling, that you have a wide picture and then a picture like more focused on you, then you get a wide picture. I think that makes a lot of sense to make it kind of dynamic and make it like look nicer as a general
for sure
web page.
Super simple rule that creates a lot of aesthetic. Yeah.
Now you say a lot of photos of you, so things you build or do, should you have you in it or you should just say that?
On the feed?
Yeah, example. Or if you make like that's the round thing with stories, because I do a lot of building, so I was thinking doing like a building thing.
Yeah.
If I do new projects.
Sure. Yeah, we can analyze your profile after the speech. The stories don't have to have you in it all the time. Some yes, some no. Like the main thing is, I go back, the feed, you know. I'm trying to find my photo. Like this. The feed should have you in it. And some, like, I was a photographer here, that's my photography times. So okay, it's not me, but most of the time it's me. Stories, whatever, doesn't matter. Yeah?
So you mentioned archetypes in the previous slides.
Yeah.
And what if, for example, I have many different archetypes, like one is a bit like artsy, business?
Boil it down to 2.
Okay.
Because you can have multiple archetypes, but you don't have to show all of them on social media. Because otherwise your communication is just too multifaceted, right? Like if you're a good communicator, you're a clear communicator, and you hammer home one message, right? It's like the same as if you're trying to sell a product and you try to sell it as, yeah, it's good for cleaning, and you can also use it as like a furniture piece, it looks good, and you can also use it like as this board game where friends can come together, And then you also can kind of like use it to heat yourself, because like this heating function, you can charge your phone with it. Like nobody's gonna buy it, right? Because like people cannot associate the product with solving one problem. So you have to always, you know, I like these business comparisons. Like, you're the guy who solves that problem for her, right? I'm the guy who shows her a good time and takes good photos of her. Yes, I'm also playing guitar, and I'm also in online marketing, and I also know a lot about video making, and I'm also in spirituality, and I also do yoga and weightlifting, but I'm not showing these things on my social media because it would get too confusing. So yeah, choose an archetype that serves you the most. Or two, you don't have to be super precise, but like, you know. And you can sprinkle it in the stories, of course, right? Sure, but the feed should be kind of clear.
So the archetype is like your main front page, and then you have the stories where you have the 5 recurring topics, or what did you say?
Yes, okay. That's true. Yeah, exactly. Like for example, Jay, right, the surfer guy, like his content is all travel, surf, water. But I know him, he's also into spirituality and philosophy, and he does real estate in Hawaii, and he's into crypto as well. Like I know him personally, so he has all these things, but there's not a single post about that on his feed. He posts in stories sometimes about that, but his feed is like, I'm the travel, surfer, water guy.
Like the program you did before with yourself.
Yeah, exactly, right? So, like we said, now add girls. We have the thing, add girls. And for that you need day game. Like we said, it is still on the pyramid under the social media. If you don't approach, your dating life is gonna suck. And not only from a it's the only way to find girls perspective, because that's obviously not true, because lots of people are getting married without having done a single cold approach in their life. But are they happily married? Are they married out of choice, out of abundance? Or are they married because they just met that one girl in high school and then it just happened? Or they don't know how to get anything better, right? So cold approach is not just to fuel your funnel, it's the development, the transformation as a man who you want to become. Like who wants to choose his future life partner out of many and then decided, I like this one, I like that one, this one was weird, I had these crazy experiences, but this one really, wow, amazing, I will go with her, by all the others, right? That's how it should be. Quick tip, important that the girl follows you, so you do day game, you get along, you say, hey, I want to stay in touch with you, add me on Instagram. So she should get her phone out, put your name in, and you add yourself. Or you tell her, hey, follow me. Or she says, follow me, and then you say, hey, follow me back right now. Otherwise, there's 2 inboxes, and there's the request inbox. Maybe you guys know this. It's just a little thing that guys forget.
But do you have an excuse for that?
Sometimes I say, oh, I don't have my phone with me, or I don't have data because I'm in a new country. Or I just say, can you add me? Because I deleted app.
Sure.
I still use it, but because I'm a drug addict. And the drug is Instagram. Hey, you look like you have a lot of followers. I don't just want to be one follower. Follow me so you see my message. Like, I'm just honest. It's like, follow me so you see my message. Because like, it's kind of like owning it. Of like, I'm a cool guy and you should see my message. Therefore, I trust myself that I'm good for you, girl. So you should see my message because you want to stay in touch with me because I'm pretty cool. It's kind of like a confident thing to say, you know? Like some things, it's way better to just be direct about it than to hide it. I mean, literally, it's a form of direct game, right? I'm just like, you're hot, and I trust that you want me, so therefore I'm able to say that to you. Now, texting. What about texting? So, I covered it a little bit. I mean, texting is a bit of a myth, and SMS is dead. Like, if you just compare the two, you meet a girl, let's assume it's like a normal conversation, 3 minutes, she likes you, but she's not ready yet to go on a date with you. And in the one scenario, she only has your phone number, and in the other scenario, she has your Instagram. If she only has your phone number or WhatsApp, she will see that message, and then hopefully she still remembers you and is still attracted enough from that one conversation to agree to go on a date with you, where she's sitting in front of you for 2 hours and gets ready, and then maybe has to spend money or time. Bad deal. Versus Instagram, where she's like, oh, this is this guy, I remember him. Oh, he looks cool. Oh, he's also playing tennis. That's nice. Oh, he's also doing this. That's cool. Well, I wasn't sure about him first, but hey, seems like he's a normal, stable guy who's got shit going on, who has some friends, and who also does something creative. Yeah, I think I can hang out with him. And he was also nice on the street, and he was, you know, well dressed. Like, it's just way better for her to make a decision. Then she also can send the profile to her girlfriends, which they do. You know, I wish they wouldn't, but they do. So they're gonna send your profile to their group chat of ladies, and then they're gonna have a board meeting, and then hopefully you have the majority decision that she's gonna go on a date with you. That's just how it goes. You know, I'm not making this up. I didn't invent it. It's just how the world works now. So, way better than texting even, because the texting is also this whole philosophical myth of like, if I'm just smart enough and eloquent enough and I just have the perfect lines, then I will get the pussy. And it's like, no, you can't just like write it like code. It's always this beautiful imagination. If I just write it like code and I press compile, then the software will work and I make $1 million. It's like, you have to use your profile. You have to use the energy, the story you put out in the world, and then hope she resonates with you. I said it many times. The energy you put out is what you get back. So if you put funny meme energy out, you will make girls laugh and they will bring it back. If you put adventure stuff out, girls will like that. So the game is now, be good at content creation, visual storytelling, not just text, and wait till they respond and react to it. They're still betting on texting, you know, the birds. Like we wrote letters back then, but now we're in a visual age. Did you guys think about this before? Can you read this and tell me? I'm just curious.
Of course, because she's putting something out and you didn't like just blind text her like randomly, but you reacted to something that she put out, right?
Yes.
So she kind of sent a small hint, like she's, you know the story, kind of, she, in the old Roman times, the woman would always drop the handkerchief and then the gentleman would come ahead and like pick up the handkerchief.
Right.
To the guy. That's
Yeah.
basically the story.
Yeah.
That's how it works.
It's the modern version of
She
that.
puts out the handkerchief and you have to react to it enough. If not, well, you're bad, right?
Yeah, and then obviously if she sees you as higher value, right? So hopefully with the handkerchief, the lady, not the peasant doesn't pick it up, but the prince, right?
She's not gonna react to the present.
She's hoping for the prince to pick it up. So we live in a time where interactions are just at mass. You guys know this, probably a hot girl has a lot of dicks in her inbox, right? So we have to switch the story a bit and put out stuff where she can react to. But if we react, still the story is way better to react what she put out in a natural way. She's been to Greece, you talk about Greece. She posts a puppy, you talk about puppies. She posts a certain flower, you react to that, yada yada. Way better than WhatsApp. Hey, how was your weekend? Hope everything was fine. Oh, it's Monday. I am a robot. No, another Monday. Are you ready for work? Haha. It's just like out of the blue you have to make shit up. And she doesn't respond. How is your work week going? Everything good in the office? You don't know, you know? This way you know what she's up to, you know what she's thinking about, you know what she cares about because that's what she's posting, and that's what you react to. Much better entry to good communication. What do you guys think? Let's raise of hands who thinks yes, you should react or comment on girls' posts. Who thinks no?
Like this one for sure, I'm not gonna react.
Yeah. Okay.
This goes straight into the delete box.
Basically, check who watch. Oh, that's another. Obviously, the answer is no, right? No reason to give public validation to girls. So that means no posting. That means no liking of photos of girls you still want to fuck. So the only girls I do like photos of girls, but it's girls who they're my female friends now, or they're already such a lover that I don't downgrade by liking them, or I'm done with them, or they're my family, right? If the girl is still in my seduction phase and I still want to get her, I'm not going to like and I'm not going to comment because it lowers my status.
Not even stories.
Me, no. You can. Because it's private. It's private. This is public, right? So it's just like screaming to everyone, I'm a loser and I need to get laid, please. It's stupid. You can check who watches your stories. Another benefit of Instagram, you can kind of get I'm not asking you to check all day, hours and make a spreadsheet, but you get a feel for, oh, this girl has been watching this story and I think last week, okay, she's engaged. Maybe I have permission now as a guy to text her, right? So the answer is nuanced. It's like, should you text a girl every day who never watches your stories? Of course not. If a girl, you know, she's been observing you for 3 months, you definitely have permission to say hi because you're in her head. And that's great. That's, again, what a beautiful tool that we can see the data. And then another amazing thing is it creates social proof, because once you extend your circle, especially if you live in a city, I mean, all of you guys live here, right? That's great. I don't have that luxury because I move all the time. So whenever I build a little circle, I leave it, and then I build another circle and I leave it, and it kind of sucks. So you guys are crushing it because you can make connections at social events, and then people will see, oh, he is friend with her as well. Well, that must mean he's not completely retarded, right? Because this girl is friends with cool guys, and she's friends with him, so he must be a cool guy. You can level that up and up and up and up, and that's amazing. Meeting guys through IG. Oh yeah, I wrote that down last minute. I remembered. Because we talk about girls a lot. Girls are nice. But you know what's really nice? Men. You know, I'm obviously now at a level, I've been doing this for 10 years. Right? I've been in seduction for 10 years. I started cold approach 10 years ago. I've started house parties 6 years ago. So I'm just at a level where I don't care that much anymore if a girl responds to me, who's going on a date with me, you know, just being honest, who's following me, who likes my photos, stuff like that. Like I have Tilted, which is a funnel of girls where just every day more and more comes. I care about guys now. I want to connect with high achievers. I want to connect with dudes who run companies, who own shit, who run shit, and I'm using Instagram for that very effectively. And I love it. It's like, even, I think the next slide is, well, that's Jay, right? The 8 million guy we talked about. Who knows this guy? He's a big crypto guy. This guy is a YouTuber, Denmo. And this happened literally 4 hours ago today. Like I wrote this speech today, and this happened today, 2 in the morning. Damn, I was up at 2 in the morning, holy shit. I saw this reel. Here's me being addicted, 2 in the morning. This is not good. I was watching reels at 2 in the morning. After the flight, to be fair. And it was a guy who talked about Bulgaria. And he has like 30,000 followers, and he's like a business guy. And I was thinking, like, I'm in Bulgaria, I don't know anyone. So I just texted him. What did I text? Saw a clip in which you talk about Bulgaria. It's my new base too. Great base, I agree. Wish to meeting more entrepreneurs. Pretty gay text, kind of, if you would send it to a girl, like, would love, you know. But he's a dude, and my profile is cool. And he's like, great, what are you doing? Love to hear that, da da da. He responded instantly in the morning. So now I have an entrepreneur friend in Bulgaria based on a reel who will connect me with others, and because I have a cool profile. Dudes respond. So you can cold DM dudes and they respond. It's crazy what you can do with a good profile. It's a crazy hack. Because, you know, it takes one to know one. And that's kind of the point. Like, it's never been that easy. So I'm kind of like I talk so much about Instagram because it gave me so much, and often I hear all these bullshit excuses of why not, and but this and it's like, it annoys me. Like, I know how good it is, and your excuses suck. And it's like, it's almost like when I hear this, it's like, okay, then don't, you know, like, don't have a good life, don't make connections, don't meet girls, don't live in abundance, don't manifest things out there, don't put out energy and get beautiful stuff back. Like, just waste that opportunity. Like, it's never been that easy to connect with people, and the bar is set fucking low. You know, like, you guys made it to a talk like this. You use your afternoon, what is it, Wednesday? I have no idea. Someday. Afternoon to listen to this stuff because you want to learn and you're going to implement some of it. That's great. Most guys don't even think about this shit at all. They don't exist. They don't talk to girls, and they hope to just something falling into their lap. So you already made it, you know, and you took the red pill, you're aware. There's so, for each of you guys, there's like 20 guys out there who don't even think about this shit. So, you know, there's a lot of girls who are waiting for men like you to upgrade and to level up, and then they're gonna choose you to hang out with you, and you know, you're gonna have a great dating life. So again, now it hopefully makes even more sense. Instagram is an energy multiplication device. You can put a little energy in and you get much more out, thanks to Mark Zuckerberg, who is paying the server fee. Thanks, Mark. You know, it's like, seriously, it's like a lot of infrastructure that needs to be built. It's like roads, you know, like we get to use roads because some motherfucker 100 years ago did the work, and we can drive a car on it. And it's similar, like it's still for free.
You still pay for it in Denmark. You do pay for it in Denmark.
Sure, you pay taxes, and I get it, but it's still, you don't have to build it yourself, you know. You get to pay a little bit to use all of it. Obviously, like I mentioned, I talked about inner game cold approach, social media. Then you can use social media, that's the next step, which is another speech, to manifest events in the real world again. So you meet girls in the real world, you get them in your online funnel, and then from there you communicate, create investment, bring them back into the real world, invite them to events and parties and whatever you're up to. And that's kind of the paradigm shift that I want to create, communicate, help with. That it's like, you know, the pickup scene has a bit of a bad rap, like pickup artist, approaching girls on the street, sleazy manipulation techniques. But hey, we're just being social. We see someone, we have a chat, and we don't have to fuck her the same day, right? This whole same day lay and kiss close and number close and how many girls you fuck, it's like, sure, but that's really just feeding your ego. At the end of the day, you see a person, something about her, you walk up, or him, have a chat, exchange Instagram or number if it fits. You know, if you actually get attracted and you want to see each other the same day, sure, do WhatsApp, you know. And then you stay in touch, and that's it. You know, that's the game. Very simple. And that's the end. Thank you very much.